Welcome back, everyone. Sorry, I'm itching my eye. Allergies are really bad. I don't know if you can hear it over my fans, but it is actually pouring outside at this point. And our weather pattern says it's going to be that way for like the next 5 days. So it's muggy, it's hot, it's humid, and it's pouring. Like, I didn't know I moved to Florida. Sorry, Florida. It's true. You guys have swamp ass. But so anyways, without further ado, we're going to jump right into the fight. We left off on chapter 8. And we left off on her dodging the meeting because she didn't want to just go in and ask the question if they still had a gay straight alliance group in the school. So we're going to jump right back in. Chapter 8. I'm going to pull my sticky tab off here. When I got a little bored during the sermon, I started reading the announcement again. Deaths, births, and this. Join us next week at noon on Wednesday for the Archbishop's prayer service for the sanctity of marriage between one man and one woman. The church makes it very clear, at least in this book. Not all churches are like this. I elbowed my mom. She pulled her eyes off the priest and gave me an annoyed look. I pointed to the announcement in the program. She glanced at it and frowned. Later, she hissed and turned her face back to the priest. I was annoyed right back at her. Maybe it didn't seem like the laws around gay marriage mattered to how kids were treated in school, but it just seemed mean. She's not wrong. When everyone came forward for Holy Communion, I saw Dominic there with his family. I couldn't catch his eye. When the service was over, I told my mom we had to go have donuts at fellowship time. She raised an eyebrow and followed me. At least she followed her. First, I only saw Dominic's parents with his siblings. Then I saw him over by the wall, not talking to anyone. I grabbed a donut and said to my mom, I'm going to go talk to Dominic about something at school. A project. She's not wrong. I'm not sure why I lied. As I hurried over, I realized I had no idea what to say. Sorry you're getting beaten up because you're gay? Does our school have a GSA? I'm not gay. I'm just curious about the GSA. Not other stuff. She's getting defensive because she's just not sure where she is in her own world. He didn't look up as I approached. Hey, I said, standing in front of him. He looked up through his bangs. Oh, hi, he said softly. Good donut, I blurted out. Wow, that was stupid. That's what she said. Wow, that was stupid. He shrugged. I said, I just wanted to know if you were okay. I mean, after Jay, Dominic blushed and looked really uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm fine, he said. I couldn't believe Miss Weller didn't take him to the office, I said, feeling mad at Wellers all over again. Dominic shrugged. Not a big deal. He mumbled. Now I was getting annoyed with him. No, it is, I insisted, and I saw those guys throw stuff at you from the car. It was scary. I looked hard at his face, trying to make him look at me. When he finally did look at me, the pain in his eyes made like an ESP connection between us. They've done other stuff too, haven't they, I asked. I think she's realizing the severity of what's truly happening behind closed doors in the school, or how people are not reporting things. I think she's putting it together now. What did they do? Who is it, Jay? He shifted and looked away again. I don't want to talk about it, he said in a soft voice. Have you told on them, I asked, squeezing my donut until it started to make crumbs. All kinds of scary pictures were going through my head of what a bully like Jay might do to Dominic. He shrugged again. You saw it happen with Weller. I did try to talk to the vice principal once. He just told me to try to stay out of their way and maybe not act so. He trailed off. That's interesting. Grown adults using such language. I squeezed my donut so hard a chunk broke off and fell on the carpet. Not to act so gay is what the vice principal said. I could tell. I knew what he meant, but what did that even mean? Indeed, what does that mean? I don't know if I'd ever consciously thought about Dominic being gay until I heard Jay call him a faggot, but it totally made sense. I had known Dominic since junior high, and he had never been like other guys. It didn't matter. But now, I was pretty sure he was. But the vice principal saying, well, son, just try not to be so gay. I could hear him saying it. The tool. Was stupid. I was just It was just how Dominic was. And why should he have to change for an idiot like Jay, who was always trying to feel girls up in the hall and crap like that? What about your parents? Can they talk to the principal? My mom would be calling everyone from the superintendent on down if she thought me or Mateo had been harassed at school. Dominic looked panicked. No, and don't say anything. You can't tell my mom anything. They don't know. I don't know. I guess what he meant is that they didn't know he was gay. I guess his parents were kind of conservative and traditional, but still. Couldn't you just tell them that, Jay, and those guys are bugging you and won't stop, just so someone tells them to leave you alone or something? Or should they totally get suspended for throwing a bottle at you? I can say I saw. Dominic was shaking his head the whole time. No, I can't tell my parents. They're under a lot of stress right now. I don't know what that means, but... He stopped. I raised my eyebrow. Our house is getting foreclosed, he added reluctantly. Okay. So his fear is that because his parents are so financially stressed right now and worrisome about taking care of their family, that he can't go to them and tell them that he is not straight, despite what the church says, and that he is gay and being harassed. Oh, wow, I said stupidly. Besides, he said quietly, it wouldn't make any difference anyways with those guys. They don't care about getting in trouble. They'll never stop, he said, unconvincingly. I don't know what to say. I felt so bad for him. Then our moms both came over and said that it was time to go, and that it was nice to see each other again. I mumbled to Dominic, I'll see you in school. On the way home, my mom said, what were you showing me in the announcement? Nothing, I said, and put my head back and closed my eyes. Chapter 9. I don't know why my phone keeps beeping. I'm really sorry. Chapter 9. It took me a while to realize on Monday that there was something going on. I didn't really notice the t-shirts until third period. I was sitting behind Rachel, reading over and over again on her bag. Let's talk. The Bible has things to say about marriage. If you've ever seen A Walk to Remember, my sister and I refer to people that can be pushy about religion. It's not everybody in the religion, but they're very in your face. You're wrong and I'm right. And so in the movie A Walk to Remember, he says her people, and the kid spiels off her Bible thumping, cross wearing, or crucifix wearing. Yeah, and so it goes through the whole thing, but at the end he answers with, honk if you love Jesus, people. So when people get overly preachy to my sister and I, we always go, it's the honk if you love Jesus, people. It's okay to be religious. Being forceful about it to another party that may not see things the way you do, that's where we draw the line in my world. And that's apparently what's about to happen here. So the girl's t-shirt in front of her says, let's talk. The Bible has things to say about marriage. So it sounds like a crusade against the whole man and man, or woman and woman. In their mind, there's only one way, man and woman. And that's what the book is saying. I remembered I had seen similar shirts on kids in the hall, all with the same logo. After class, I asked her, what's up with your shirt? Oh, hey, Bella, she said, all perky. I thought your church participated. It's a day to spread the Bible's message about love and marriage and how God cares for everyone's soul. And that our actions, even when we're young and maybe confused, really matter. She stared at me earnestly. I just shook my head and walked away. Okay, sorry about that. Someone ran through the kitchen. I'm not happy, but it's all right. I threw myself down at our lunch table. You will not believe what Rachel said to me, I told my friends. She's wearing one of those t-shirts, right? Said Kim. Someone else gave me a card on my way here, but I didn't read it. She pulled it out of her back pocket. I grabbed it. Oh, my God, listen to this, I said. The Lord has our best interests at heart when it comes to our sexuality. I threw the card down. You know what that means? God hates gay people. And so do we. Jenny and Kesha exchanged looks. Kim picked up the card and read it. I don't think the Bible says being gay is bad, asked Kesha. I stared at her. I don't know what the Bible says about it or about a lot of other stuff, but this is BS. Why do you think that? Kesha put her hands up. Whoa, I didn't say that. I'm just saying that for some people who are really religious, it's just obvious. You should hear my grandma talk about it. I shook my head as I picked up my milk. Why are you so upset? Asked Jenny. You didn't used to care so much about political stuff. She paused. Is this about Dominic? What about Dominic? Kesha and Kim said. I just gave Jenny a look. Jay was harassing him the other day and calling him terrible things, I said. Mrs. Weller didn't do anything. Kesha shrugged. I hate Jay. She said, he's always got to be messing with somebody. Kim nodded. Then she moved on. Hey, did you guys hear about... I tuned Kim out. I wasn't in the mood for gossip about other people's love life. I can see why, not at that point. Let's check something here. Okay, chapter 10. After school, I decided just to go out the door by Salazar's room. No good reason. When I came to that hallway, it was like deja vu. Dominic was backed up against the locker, but this time it was two of those kids and the stupid t-shirt, and they weren't grabbing him, but they were in his face. Seeing how you look at guys in the locker room, the guy was saying to Dominic, you know it's wrong and unnatural. It's only because we care that we don't want to see you go to hell. The girl put out a hand on Dominic's shoulder, or on his arm rather. He flinched. I can imagine why. You can change, the guy said. There are camps that can help. Shut up, I yelled, striding towards them. Leave him alone. The girl faced me. We're just talking. It's a private conversation. Well, I'm ending your conversation, I spat, reaching out to pull Dominic away from the guy. The girl I had seen in Salazar's room before came out in the hall with her hands on her hips, not letting go of Dominic. I started walking towards her. I just felt we'd be safer down there. The t-shirt kids whispered together, and then went the other way. What's going on? The girl asked as we got up to her. Those stupid. I couldn't even think what I wanted to say to them. Homophobes, she said, nodding. A bunch of churches do this every year. Disgusting. Are you okay? She asked Dominic. He looked as if he was trying not to cry. He shrugged and whispered, yeah. You guys want to come in? Salazar lets us just hang out in his room. I'm Zoe, by the way. I totally wanted to, but Dominic shook his head. I told my mom I'd be home to babysit. You're walking, I asked. He nodded. I am too, so we can go together. He didn't look too excited. We'll see you later, I said to Zoe. I definitely wanted to talk to her again. First, we were quiet as we walked, but I couldn't hold back long. You don't really think that, do you? That you're going to hell, I asked. Dominic shrugged. It was like his answer to everything. It's in the Bible, he said finally. But so is tons of other stuff that no one takes literal, I said. Like, remember when we learned the 10 Commandments and it says you can't take the Lord's name in vain? Everyone does that. It's not a big deal. This is different. Worse, he said sadly. But that guy saying you could change, I said, that's total BS. Why should you try to change? There's nothing wrong with you. Dominic just kept his head down. Suddenly I remembered that guy in school, Jamie Ballard, who had killed himself last year. I didn't know him, but the rumors were that he was bullied. I felt really scared. Maybe I should tell someone, but Dominic asked me not to. So what are you doing tonight? I asked. Just babysitting, he said. My dad doesn't get home till 8. Homework. You want to do something this weekend, I asked. I just felt that I needed to keep track of him. I mean, you could just come over and we could watch a movie or something. Maybe, he mumbled. I'm going to turn here. It was a block before he needed to turn, but I guessed he had rather cut through the alley than keep walking with me. Still, I got his number. Later, I texted him so he'd have my number, but he didn't reply. So I'm going to end on chapter 11. This whole thing about did he believe it? It's a whole bunch of stuff in the Bible, and that it's total BS that he needed to change because he was fine just the way he is. What are your guys' thoughts on that? I think being a misfit is probably the best part of you, and if somebody sees your sexuality as a form of misfitting as far as societal norms go, well then that's a them problem, not a you problem. I don't think there's anything wrong with anybody nowadays. There's always bad things happening to, good people and bad things happening to bad people or good things happening for bad people. The fact of the matter is you should always be able to stay true to yourself. It doesn't really matter what someone else is getting. Life is not a competition against others. It's a competition against yourself. And if you wake up each morning feeling better about yourself or better for doing something for yourself or just about yourself in general, then I guess it's a win. You guys let me know in the comments.